Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the time. Here, I'm Anjar Setiawan, would like to present my article. So for the first, let me share my screen. My article entitled Performance-Based Assessment on ESP Learning. It is a preliminary research. Let's get started for the first part, that is English for specific purposes, or ESP, is defined as teaching and learning English as a second or foreign language for the purpose of using it in a particular domain. It was stated by Subri et al. In 2019. It is designed based on a spatial context of the spatial needs of the learner. Therefore, the learning English in universities should be learning English for specific purposes, or ESP. Further, this study focuses on the preliminary research of performance-based assessment on ESP learning in the university level, since ESP is closely related to needs analysis. Therefore, the need analysis is needed so that the learning design is relevant to be implemented for students to help them academically and professionally. The second part is literature review. In English learning of ESP, performance-based assessment is a set of strategies to help students improving knowledge and English productive skills of writing and speaking through meaningful real tasks and interesting for students in the learning process. It was stated by Savitri et al. In 2018. To implement this assessment in the teaching and learning process, the lecturer needs to prepare for its components, namely assignments and rubrics. It was stated by Guo et al. In 2020. Further, the lecturer gives practical assignments to students based on their abilities and skills. The practical tasks emphasize students on problem solving, communication, and conceptual relationship with real problems. It was stated by Lynch in 2003. Moreover, the assignment can be a project, exhibition, portfolios, discussion, presentation, or assignments that require students to show performance capabilities. It was stated by Hairida and Junanto in 2018. So based on the review of literature stated by the expert, it means that the performance-based assessment needs the students' activeness and participation during the teaching and learning process. And further, to implement this method for the English learning, here the lecturer needs to prepare for the components of the, the instructions, clear instruction for the students how to practice their English successfully, particularly for English productive skills of writing and speaking. For the research method, the study employs descriptive qualitative method since the result of the research will be descriptively analyzed. This research was conducted at non-English department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Semarang. To conduct this preliminary research, there are several steps, include doing observation, giving questionnaire, doing interview, and giving pretest. The steps are conducted to collect data of existing of the implementation of performance-based assessment in ESP learning. And those steps are also belonging to the instrument in collecting the data, that is observation checklist, and then questionnaire checklist, and then doing an interview with the students, and the last is giving pretest to the students. The pretest was given to know about the students' English ability before given the performance-based assessment in ESP learning. And then the findings here, I describe the findings based on the instruments collected in the research. The first is observation. The finding of observation showed that the ESP learning did not implement performance-based assessment to support the students' English learning improvement. During the teaching and learning process, most of students did not pay attention to the topic delivered by the lecturer. The students just enjoyed to have their own discussion. And in addition, the student got difficulties to practice writing and speaking. So for this observation checklist, it shows that the process of teaching learning was run not successfully. For the result of questionnaire concluded that the students were interested in ESP learning. The students were interested in ESP learning process by having a small group discussion. So it means that they prefer to have a group discussion to reduce their nervous during the English practices. So it means that they need some suggestion and consideration in practicing English, yeah, with their friends, because small group discussion helps them to make what is that to make them more confidence in practicing English. And here is the percentage result of questionnaire. Here, I give the 5 main indicators. The first, student interest in ESP learning, it got 93%. And then the second, using learning media and online platforms, it got 100%. The indicator of learning in a group discussion, it got 100% too. And then the indicator of the implementation of performance-based assessment, it got a 97%. And the last indicator of practicing writing and speaking during the ESP learning, it got 94%. So for this percentage result, it indicated that the students were really enthusiastic to have the ESP learning to practice writing and speaking, but they need and they prefer to have group discussion, and also they need to implement the method of performance-based assessment to help them prepare, practice, and perform their English productive skills of writing and speaking. And then for the result of interview, here the student explained that they could not write English paragraph completely. It means that they could not complete writing the paragraph in English text. Yeah, they got confused how to start writing by arranging the subject, predicate, object, and adverb. Further, they did not have enough English vocabularies to write many words. Moreover, the students were also not confident to speak in English. It is similar with the result of the questionnaire that in this interview session, the students explained their obstacles and difficulties during the teaching and learning process of English. After collecting the data from observation, questionnaire, and interview, and then I conducted pre-test to the students. The result of the student mean score on their English skills did not achieve the category of good. It concluded that they did not have good understanding and performance in using in English productive skills. So let's see the score, the student score of pre-test here. For the writing, the student's mean score was 66. Meanwhile, the student mean score in speaking skill was 68. So this course did not achieve the category of good in English. So therefore, after this, After this, this result of the student score, it needs for the action to help them in English learning. And here I give the discussion. In the process of teaching and learning, the correlation between teaching method and learning goals should be synchronized, particularly in ESP learning. The whole results of the research instruments indicated that students got difficulties in practicing English productive skill in ESP learning. They did not able to complete their writing, and they were not also able to start speaking clearly. Therefore, the ESP learning needs to implement performance-based assessment, as it is an important teaching strategy to develop in the learning process. This method helps students to explore their creativity by instructing them to demonstrate their ability to create a product in a learning activity. Because of the English learning, and the English productive skills are writing and speaking. So the product of the learning could be text of the writing, and then the video project of speaking or conversation. The video or the performance of the students' conversation, or also student speech to practice their speaking skill. And here the conclusion, the preliminary research of performance-based assessment on ESP learning was conducted at non-English department in Universitas of Muhammadiyah, Semarang. To collect the data, there were several instruments included observation, questionnaire, interview, and pretest. The results showed that the students are not able to write coherently and arrange words orally. Many of them only produce several words to say something in a conversation. So they got confused on how to give questions and also deliver responses in English. Thus, ESP learning should implement performance-based assessment to help the students practicing and improving their English productive skills, particularly for writing and speaking skill. Here I also give the recommendation for the further researchers. The performance-based assessment needs to be implemented in ESP learning, since the goal of ESP learning is to improve students' English productive skill. Further, the preliminary research is important to be conducted to have the need analysis before the learning. So yeah, this is why that preliminary research is really fundamental for the lecturer to implement to be implemented before conducting the teaching and learning, particularly for ESP learning at non-English department, because the lecturer should analyze what are the needs analysis and what are the goals of the teaching English in that study program. Yeah, I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you next time. Have a good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.